Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name is Brandon, and you're watching M.O.N.Comics. Hey everyone, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm not in my usual filming area. I am actually on the road. I got a tip from a friend that a place about an hour northeast of me has some comics in a little mini market flea mall kind of place. The wife and kids are hanging out on the back deck, and she was nice enough to say, go ahead and go see what you can find. So taking a little field trip on a beautiful upstate New York day. It's about 80 degrees out, which is definitely not usual for April. And yeah, let's go see what we can find. All right, I made it to Weeden's Mini Mall, just a little bit farther than Sylvan Beach, New York. I'm gonna go on in and see what they got for comics. Well, I spent some time in there. There's a lot of comics, and I got some awesome books. I'll get back home so I can show them to you. All right, I am back, folks, in the office, or as my wife has come to call it, the creation station, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, that was Weeden's Mini Mall, small antique / flea store in Blossvale, New York, which I was wrong in the car directions. It's actually about an hour northwest of me. I know this channel is called M.O.N.Comics, and the whole idea is how I get comics living in the middle of nowhere. Well, truth be told, a little town about 7-minute drive from here called Blossvale, New York, is actually a pretty big antique town. There's a number of shops there, I'd say probably 10 to 12, and I've tried my luck before, and I've really never found anything. But 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna just ask every owner and just try to dig up leads on whatever I can. So I took that, hour that day, and I went over and I stopped into 6 shops, I believe, and I found comics at one shop. I didn't include the footage because they were just nothing I collect. They were all indie and Valiant Image stuff from the 90s that I just don't collect. And I asked every antique owner of each shop if they had any comics, and that was the only one that did. But one lady at one shop, and I can't remember the name, I'll have to put it up here if I find it out, she said, I know a gentleman in Weeden's Mini Mall, and she was nice enough. She had this brochure that they all can put advertisements in, and she was nice enough to circle it, which had the directions there and everything, and the phone number so I could call, and they did say they had a bunch of comics. I didn't get much footage. I included what I could beforehand, but that's because of the sheer number of comics I was trying to go through. They probably had close to 2,000 comics and a little bit of everything, from silver, bronze, copper age. Not much newer. As you can see from the video, they did have some good stuff, though. And I tried to get as much footage as I could and go through as fast as I could because, like I said, it was an hour away and then an hour drive back, and I spent an hour there. So 3 hours is a long time as far as, my wife having to be alone with 2 young girls under the age of 3. I don't have that time to go out and hunt and look and chase down leads, but I did at this time, and I just wanted to go out and feel what it was like and see if I could have some luck in the field, if you will, out hunting for comics. So I know mail is my usual thing, and I'm going to get back to that next week, but I thought this was a really fun chance to do a different video and show you guys what I got. So let me show you the books I picked up. I'm pretty excited about them. Well, the first book, I'm just going to go right away because you probably saw it in the first footage clip, but I happened to find a Wolverine 88 from 1994. written by Larry Hama and cover by Adam Kubert. This is the first official meeting and fight of Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not a huge Wolverine collector. I'm a fan. I love Wolverine as a character. I love Deadpool as a character. I just adore him, and I don't have much for books of him. I definitely don't have his first appearance. But this book got pretty hot when they announced that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds would be meeting up in the MCU. And it skyrocketed, and it's leveled off now, but I think you saw the price. I've rebagged all these the books that I got, and I think you saw the price tag that I got this book for $5. So immediately I was like, yes, because even if I'm not gonna keep it, I can trade it or sell it and fund other books I want. But the thing is, I just found out, through a friend that Rob Liefeld is signing at CGC. So I think this is going to go to my presser Jeff over at Comic Spa. It does have some spine ticks, not a ton. But overall, it's a very nice copy and well worth the $5. So yeah, I was very happy about that. Cool cover, cool book, great score. I felt like I was winning that day when I found this for $5. It was a huge win. So very happy to add this to my collection. It's probably going off to get signed. The next book up is a really cool cover, Brave and the Bold 75. This is from 1968, so it is Silver Age. This was written by Bob Haney and cover art by the great Neil Adams. I thought I recognized that art style when I saw the book, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I took it out to check it out. It is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's not, it definitely has some issues on the spine. There's no huge creases on the cover or anything. But this is the Batman and the Spectre fight Shang-Chi in Gotham's Chinatown. I haven't read these books yet since I got them fairly recently, but just look at that cover of Shang-Chi's arm extended out holding Batman and the Spectre coming in. I don't have any Brave and the Bold. This is my first pickup, and I'm trying to add more Spectre books too, and I thought this was very good. Very good book for the price, and I'll tell you what I paid for all of these at the end. So Brave and the Bold 75, awesome Neil Adams cover. The next book I picked up, I only have one other book in my collection from this series, but it is Tomb of Dracula, number 57. This is from 1977. It was written by Marv Wolfman and cover art by Michelle Wolfman, Gene Colan, and John Costanza. And I believe they all collaborated on this. Not a key or anything. I only had one Tomb of Dracula book. And I thought this was a really cool cover with this guy shooting darts at Dracula, but it is pretty beat up. But I got it for a cheap price, so I'm very excited to add another Tomb of Dracula in my collection. I'd love to eventually have the first appearance of Blade, which is Tomb of Dracula 10, and then the first time he fights Deacon Frost. I'm not sure which one that is, but huge fan of the movie. That really kicked off a lot of that was really big for Marvel when that movie came out. It was no Iron Man, but it was still huge. And I'm looking forward to what they do with the next Blade, and if they harken back to Lilith and some other stuff, which I think they're gonna. So, Tomb of Dracula 57, cool pickup. The next book, I admittedly don't collect a ton of this title, but I'm trying to get into more, and I recognize this cover from other YouTubers showing it. But it is Uncanny X-Men number 188 from 1984, written by, of course, Chris Claremont, cover art by John Romita Jr. And this is a key issue. It is the first appearance of the Trickster, who later becomes the Adversary. I always thought this was a cool cover. I liked the pinks and yellows in it. And again, it wasn't that expensive. It's a newsstand, and I was like, well, I got to get some more X-Men. I want to read more of those stories, especially the Chris Claremont run, which is just epic, and add it to my collection. So very cool pickup. The last book I got was Batman 291. I was drawn to the cover immediately with this. His whole rogues gallery standing over his grave, and it says, Batman died in 1977, may he rest in peace, crossed off, burn in hell, and Joker's laughing and has the red paint can. So this is from 1977, written by David Verne Reed, cover art by Jim Aparo and Tatiana Wood. It's the first part of the storyline of Where Were You on the Night Batman Was Killed. I'd like to read this whole storyline and collect them all. Starting with this issue, this is the first tag that you see Batman created by Bob Kane starts to appear in the Batman comics. And of course, Bill Finger was a co-creator, and he's getting the credit he should now these days, but this is just, that's the only significance. It's not a key. But I was just really drawn to this cover, and I'm happy to add another Batman title to my collection. So there you have it, guys. I took a little road trip and it paid off. At the end of the day, I got these 5 sweet, sweet comics for $47. So I think I did really well. If you want to let me know down in the comments how you think I did. Any of these books appeal to you guys? Do you have them? Do you know any of the storylines? I'd like to hear from you. As always, I appreciate the love and the comic book community on YouTube and the comic book community in general. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel or you're just been watching videos and you haven't, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and liking the video and leave me a comment, I'd really appreciate it. So next week, I have a video coming with a good amount of mail that I've been sitting on, but I want to get these other videos done first. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. Take care, be safe, be well, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep reading comics.